Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Palley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be exploring one of the giants in the history of men's fragrances. This is known as Lagerfeld Classic, which came out in 1978, and this is an EDT Eau de Toilette concentration. So this, of course, comes from the house of Karl Lagerfeld. So this is classified as an Oriental woody fragrance. So this is an awesome scent. One of the true immortals of the fragrance world. It is nearing its 50th birthday, and in many ways, I believe this is a fragrance that has never been matched or equaled. We have the term 80s powerhouse, but I would say this is a 1970s styles beast. So this fragrance, one thing I'd like to say about it, I am going to be reviewing a bottle about 8 to 10 years old. I have never tried an original formulation. So if you have any comments you'd like to drop on that, I'd be more than happy to read them. But this bottle is about 7 to 8 years old. Through my lifetime, I've gone through about 2 or 3 bottles of this fragrance. I had a little travel bottle at one time, which I no longer have. Like I said, the bottle I have here is about 8 to 10 years old. From what I know, the recent formulations are still considered to be excellent as compared to the older fragrance, the older formulations. And the one thing I'd like to say is when we have the older formulations, they would definitely be more masculine in a sense that they would be deeper, they would be more potent than the more recent formulations. Mainly because of the fact that a lot of the ingredients that were used in the past are no longer available. But nevertheless, this is a very unique scent. I believe this is a groundbreaker in its kind of ambery, sweeter profile, but it's still masculine. So it's spicy, it's powdery, it's ambery, it's floral, and then it's musky. It's got many great components. So I'm going to give this a spray on the back of my wrist. So initially, I pick up a little bit of a powdery ozonic sweetness that's ambery. There's woodiness. There's a definite soapy vibe to it and some soft herbs, not potent herbs, just kind of soft and sweet. One thing that's interesting about this fragrance, I find, with this formulation, I find it to be very spicy. I pick up cinnamon, I pick up some other sweet spices, but none of these are noted in the note breakdown. The first dry down of this fragrance, I would say you have more of an ambery note, still powdery, but I get some sweet tobacco. It's creamy. Definitely floral, but it would not red florals as in roses. It would be more light white florals. So it's soft, but it's still masculine, and it has a very natural smell to it. It's not like a artificial synthetic sweetness, not a sugary sweetness, a sweetness of a flower, a sweetness of fresh vanilla, this sort of thing. Later on, it definitely becomes more musky. It's always musky throughout the whole fragrance, but it becomes more musky. Still have the vanilla, still have the amber, still the light white florals, creamy. And I would say from the first dry down to the late dry down, it is somewhat animalic, but it doesn't have the so-called, pissy old man vibe. So in this sense, this fragrance is incredible because of the fact that it's a sweet masculine fragrance. And this is, again, created almost 50 years ago. So this was unheard of at the time. And I know several fragrance reviewers, one in particular, one of my favorite fragrance reviewers, this is his favorite fragrance. And this is one of my favorite fragrances as well. And I do think, unlike some of the old other 80s style of fragrances that are very beastly, this is something you could easily wear today. And I think a gentleman, even in his 20s, if he learns how to wear it, wears it in the right situations, puts on the right amounts in the right places, I think this is a very sexy, very attractive fragrance for even younger men, like I said, mid-20s, but this is more of a vintage style. As advertised, the top notes are aldehyde, tarragon, clary sage, bergamot, lemon, and green notes. The mid notes are tobacco, sandalwood, orris root, patchouli, rose, cedar, and jasmine. The base notes are amber, musk, vanilla, oak moss, and tonka bean. So again, the performance, even on a more modern bottle, is incredible. You're going to smell it on your clothes for days. Even after you shower the next day, you're still going to smell it. I got 8 to 10 hours off of this simply with a couple half sprays. That's all you need. You don't need to spray 10 times. Even one may be enough. So it's a great value. This is not an expensive fragrance. And with that said, I encourage you to check out other fragrances from the house of Karl Lagerfeld, because most people are not familiar with these. You're going to have to go to a specific fragrance shop that has a variety of lesser known European fragrances. And not to say that Lagerfeld is lesser known, but it doesn't get the limelight such as Yves Saint Laurent or Christian Dior, those fragrance brands. It's a little bit quieter, a little more under the radar. But nevertheless, this is an absolute stunner, an absolute winner, one of the greatest fragrances of all time. And many consider it to be the greatest fragrance of all time, a fragrance that was ahead of its time. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell. Any comments or questions you have, leave them down below, and I'll always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.